What's good, everybody? My name is Gentleman Jug.
And I'm Son.
And welcome back to another Gentleman Juggcast. This is episode 60.
60?
How you doing today, boy?
I'm good.
That's what I thought. We got another movie to talk about this week. What's that movie this time, boy?
Oh, it's Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, the classic.
Maybe one of the best Batman movies.
Like, of all time.
Of all time. I mean, how can you not like it? It's got Batman and Robin.
And Robin. Look, we gotta talk about this movie, boy. Tell me what this movie is called, son.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. 1997 is when this thing came out. I saw this in theaters with my brother when it came out.
Now, this is one of the times you can say, I'm glad I wasn't alive during the time this came out.
Look. At this time, Batman fever was at an all-time high. We had the TV show, we had the movies, there were video games that were out. They weren't good, okay?
No Arkham,
No, nothing that crazy was out there like that. But, people were loving on Batman. It was a great time to be a Batman fan. I won't get into the Batman Forever video game. That pile of garbage. It was a pile of garbage.
Not quite Arkham.
No. Like I said, I saw this in theaters when it came out in 97. Okay? I was all about this movie before I saw it.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Now, this flick, it made $238 million in 1997 money. That would be about $439 million today. So it never cracked $1 billion. And we're going to get into the reasons why. I'm going to tell you why that happened. This movie was mostly an all-star cast. You understand what I'm saying? All these people, except for maybe Chris O'Donnell, were big-time stars.
Yeah, I recognized Arnold.
Yeah. I had never seen Arnold Schwarzenegger bald in a movie, I don't think before or since.
So this is after Terminator, right?
Oh, this is way after Terminator.
Okay.
After Terminator 2, but not before Terminator 3.
Oh,
because for some reason they release sequels to those movies like once every decade.
It just seems like I've seen almost every Terminator, and he's like the one constant though.
Yeah,
even if it's bad or if it's good, and
he has an appearance in every single one of them. So it's cool, whatever. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't think at this point had ever been bigger. He was just, on top of the world.
So he was at The Rock's level today?
I would say yeah. The more I'm thinking about it, I'm I think he was, because, he was everywhere. He was the action superstar everywhere, and...
before the Johnson.
Before Rock the Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was him.
There was Arnold.
Yeah. So let's get into this movie, boy, okay? The WB symbol shows up, and it turns into a frosty bat symbol. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger's name comes before George Clooney, who is playing the Batman. So that'll let you know that it's the villain who's more in tuned here. Now, the last time I think that happened was when Jack Nicholson's name was mentioned before Michael Keaton in the original Batman.
Yeah.
And now Arnold Schwarzenegger is here, and he's a bigger star than George Clooney, who I think this was George Clooney's first movie. Okay?
He got to be Batman.
Yeah. Look, I don't give a shit how bad the movie is. If I get to play Batman, I can't, I'm black. But if I got to play Batman in a movie, I don't give a shit how shitty it is. I'm going to show up for work early every day.
You could always play Batwing. or whatever that guy's name is.
I think I'm too old to play Batwing. I think Batwing is probably like closer to your age, 17, 18-ish. I think Batman is closer to mine. But anyways, after the opening credit scene happens, we get the dynamic duo suiting up in front of the most toy-looking Batmobile I have ever seen. And then Robin makes a joke about wanting a car because Val Kilmer in the last movie said chicks dig the car. And I'm sure they would dig the car, but I don't know if there's any girl out there, no matter how rich you are, who would want to sit in the Batmobile and go on a date. Maybe I'm completely wrong and reading this completely incorrectly, but if I saw that fucking car pull up and he was like, get in. And you're like, what the fuck is this? I don't know if I could get in that. But then...
This is why Superman works alone.
Yeah, Superman.
I'm like, he's here?
Superman is in this universe?
It's like, there's a reason he didn't fly to Gotham City.
He should have flown to Gotham City plenty of times because he protects the world, not just Metropolis, the world.
Yeah, I don't know what this Superman's doing.
I don't know. So, Batman, who's being, once again, played by George Clooney, drives somewhere. Okay.
He doesn't even know where he's going.
He's just leaving. Now, I have to assume maybe he's just going on patrol. Maybe he's going on patrol, son.
I hope so. Because he just leaves.
He just leaves.
And
then
Robin goes with him.
Then Robin follows him in his Robin cycle.
Like, we're just going somewhere.
Cool. And then Commissioner Gordon FaceTimes him while he's driving. Look, son, this is the 90s. We didn't have video chatting at the time, okay? So we didn't know the dangers of driving under the influence of a screen. So obviously Batman knows what he's doing, right? Driving with a screen on him.
Yeah.
With a wide open Batmobile, he might as well be driving a motorcycle if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But whatever. Gordon tells Batman about Mr. Freeze and what he does. And here's where I have an issue, son.
You have an issue.
Yeah. Commissioner Gordon is talking to Batman about Mr. Freeze like Mr. Freeze hasn't been out there doing stuff. Because when we do see Mr. Freeze, once again played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's at a museum. And Mr. Freeze has like a dozen or so giant diamonds that I have to assume that he's stolen.
Yeah.
Okay? So why is Gordon telling Freeze about why is Gordon telling Batman about Freeze? He's been doing this entire time. He has a dozen freaking giant diamonds.
He got them all today. Just today.
Just today. A dozen giant diamonds. And Batman's like, Mr. Freeze, huh? Like, you don't know this son of a bitch?
See, I know when I first saw that, like, I unintentionally laughed because the way Batman just slides in. He's like, hey, Freeze, I'm Batman.
It's just like, not even trying to change his voice. Hi, Freeze, I'm Batman. Like, you're fucking Bruce Wayne, you piece of shit. I know that voice. Okay?
And then Robin comes in later and is like...
His motorcycle jumps through, I'm assuming, a concrete wall and leaves a perfect Robin symbol when he comes through it.
In a motorcycle.
Now I'm like, okay... Are they trying to take this seriously, or is this supposed to be a joke? Because it feels like they're trying to do both. Like they're trying to be serious, but also be a joke at the same time. I can get behind one or the other, but I cannot get behind both at the same time.
It's too much.
So, anyways, we end up having hockey players fighting our heroes. Their skates come out of the boots, which I'm like, that's got to be uncomfortable, but whatever.
And then we get, like, Batman and Robin just sliding around playing hockey.
Playing hockey.
I'm like, this is the kind of stuff I thought I'd only see in Fortnite.
This is the kind of stuff I thought I would only see in, like, the 1966 Batman show. Okay, that's where I thought I'd see it. Okay, anyways, Freeze freezes a dinosaur statue, and he uses the pun, "What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!" Look, if you're waiting for the freeze puns to stop after that one,
No.
I mean, you are in for a world of hurt.
He's like, the Iceman cometh, all that. There's like so many.
Yeah. So he takes off on a rocket ship that he just has. All right.
It was his plan the whole time.
Yeah, I'm going to steal a giant diamond, which they're playing hockey with, and I'm just going to take off in this rocket ship that I just brought with me to go into space, which is going into space. Okay?
I guess because the movie logic is that he's Mr. Freeze. He can survive the cold, even the cold of space.
Yeah, but he needs oxygen, and it does get weak up there.
Yeah.
But we're just going to go ahead and ignore that.
Yeah.
So Batman has infiltrated the ship, and Freeze, starts taking him. But Robin sees the ship is taken off. So what does he do? He freaking hits a grappling gun and ignores all the other bad guys and just gets onto the side of the ship.
Yep.
Okay, fine. The bad guys they managed to get away. They're gonna go back to the hideout. Whatever. So the ship is going up and up and up into the freaking stratosphere and beyond.
And Robin's just climbing in outside.
Just alive.
He can breathe.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Just alive. So, of course, turns out that this rocket is actually a bomb. Okay.
It's like, why not?
Yeah. So, this rocket is a bomb and will supposedly kill half of Gotham. Okay.
Like, oh, wow, this guy's scary.
Yeah. So Robin saves Batman. That's fine. And then they air surf down to Mr. Freeze.
And Mr. Freeze turns into like Killer Moth and flies out.
Well, he has wings on the back of his suit, which is fine. I would expect him to have that plan. If I'm gonna bring a rocket, I better have wings on the back of my freaking costume so that I can freaking glide down to Earth.
They get like these goggles. I mean, I know what it's supposed to do, but it just looks funny.
It looks goofy as all hell.
And then somehow Batman and Robin use doors as like surfboards. The doors of the rocket as surfboards, like they're flying.
Yeah, they were air surfing the entire time, which air surfing at the time was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand. Of the times, air surfing was a thing. But this is Batman and Robin doing it, chasing after Mr. Freeze
in a butterfly suit.
I find it real hard to doubt what you're saying, son. It looks like a butterfly suit. Okay. Anyways, they managed to land under stupid and goofy circumstances. That rocket exploded in the air, so nothing happens. I guess no EMP after that. Whatever. They chase Mr. Freeze through a series of doors.
Just randomly there.
Yeah, and then when they finally get to the last door, Robin charges after Mr. Freeze and he gets frozen.
It looks funny.
Yeah, well, what bothers me is that, okay, so Batman does let Freeze get away, so he saves Robin. But I'm thinking like, okay, Mr. Freeze said that you have 11 minutes to save the boy. How do you know it's 11 minutes? Like, is there a lot of trial and error? You froze the person immediately, so that means all their cells are frozen, right?
Yeah.
Everything on them is frozen. And you apparently have 11 minutes. I mean, only thing I know that can kind of survive something like that being flash frozen is vegetables. But this human being, everything was frozen, solid. And you have 11 minutes to save him. How do you know about the 11 minutes? How'd you figure that out? When you thought somebody, did you like, oh, he freaking died after 11 minutes? I don't know how we know that.
We know.
Yeah, we just know. Anyways.
I mean, and I guess he melts Robin. It looks kind of funny, but...
Cut to Poison Ivy, who's being played by Uma Thurman. And she's basically paying attention to John Glover's character. His character's name is actually the Floronic Man.
He's not Lionel Luthor this time.
No, not here.
It's funny is that something I just thought about is that this movie is the first time I've seen Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy ever. So after
This is your way in, huh?
this is my way in. So I see Mr. Freeze in the butterfly suit. I'm like, so that's Mr. Freeze. I'm like, okay.
All right. I'm stepping in what you're shitting. All right, I got you.
Then I see Poison Ivy, and I'm like, so that's Poison Ivy. All right.
Okay, so this is her origin story. This is canon.
I'm like, yeah, her canon origin story, yeah.
You know, so she was being nosy and not minding her own damn business, and she found out that Floronic Man, I'm just gonna keep saying that because that's his character's name, Floronic Man, has been stealing her experiments and stuff like that to create a serum called Venom that he is using on this one guy called Bane.
And I was like, okay, so that's where Bane came from.
That's how it's canon.
It's like, okay,
Yeah, we got it.
So Bane was just in Poison Ivy's garden, and then he breaks Batman's back later. It's like,
That guy.
That's the guy.
Bane was being played by, I guess he was a strong man of the time, named Robert Swenson. And this is his origin story for this movie. And Poison Ivy sees what's going on, so therefore she tries to get away, but she makes too much noise, so the Floronic Man comes out and he kills her.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay.
Throws her into a hole,
and
snakes and other things fall in there with her.
She drops a table on her and it doesn't break.
He drops a table on her. Anyways, my thing is that Ivy met Floronic Man, and they were scientists working on something for Wayne Enterprises, and I'm like, did you not see how crazy this guy was from the second you met him? Like, she, for all intents and purposes, is trying to be professional, right? But he is freaking crazy. And I'm like, you didn't see this?
Look, it's...
Anyways.
First time seeing Poison Ivy, and I thought, oh, she's just naive is all.
Yeah, that's what it is. So, we learn Mr. Freeze's backstory. And it turns out, apparently, to show off the reason why he has so many muscles or why he's that freaking big is because he was a decathlete. Okay, that's 10 exercises, or exercises? That's not the right word. 10 events, one after another that he does. Apparently, he just does this. So when he's, when he's off doing his, what's it called? His scientist stuff, if you can believe that Arnold Schwarzenegger is a scientist, he also does decathlons as well. Okay, whatever. It's I don't care. So, we learn more about the relationship between Bruce and Alfred. I mean, this is fine. Whatever.
I don't know if we passed the scene yet, but there was a scene where Mr. Freeze was in his hideout and he's like, sing, sing.
Oh, that was much later. Yeah, he was like, he's smoking a cigar. You're like, wait. I need you to hold the fuck on. I thought this guy couldn't survive being, in any particular temperature that wasn't, above or below freezing.
He just started smoking a cigar.
Whatever. So, back to Poison Ivy. She apparently wakes up, and she immediately knows that she has powers.
She's like...
this happened to my skin, this happened to my blood, and my lips are filled with poison. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know that already?
Me as young, I was like, oh, so that's her powers. Okay.
Like, is this movie trying to take itself seriously but not seriously at the same time?
It's like I wrote this.
Oh God, you suck. We learned that Freeze. Look, I'm gonna try to be as calm about this as possible. We learned that Freeze, his master plan is to gather giant diamonds to freeze Gotham, to ransom Gotham for billions to find a cure for his wife Nora. Okay? That's what he said.
All right.
But he has a dozen giant diamonds already. Why can't he sell the giant diamonds? Okay? That he obviously is easily able to get because he has a fucking dozen of them. Okay?
Look, it's...
To gather money? To find a cure for his wife?
Look, he's a scientist.
At the beginning of the movie, he made a rocket. The rocket was going to destroy Half of Gotham. Okay? Right? He's gonna ransom the city for money at the beginning of the movie. I don't understand the plan here. You already have the diamonds that you could just sell, and he didn't do that. Instead, he's gonna have a rocket they took off to destroy half of Gotham. But
at this point, you could sell the ice gun too.
He could sell everything. Anyways, we meet Barbara Pennyworth.
Yeah. Yeah, so this movie gets better because you thought
she's being played by Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
Which, look, I saw Clueless. Not in theaters, but I saw it. So
yeah, I'm clueless about that.
Yeah, you are. Because they had a TV show after that, too. But that's neither here nor there. I don't think she was in it, but I don't remember. Anyways, she likes to sneak out and, ride motorcycles for an attempt to get money to stop, Alfred from serving Bruce Wayne. I don't care. This really could have been thrown away. I did not need this at all. But we got to have Batgirl, right?
Yeah, and Batman and Robin.
Batgirl needs to be in the movie titled Batman and Robin. You know the movie where Robin is wearing a Nightwing costume with a cape? That movie. And they still have nipples. That's not going anywhere. How come Batgirl's suit didn't get nipples? I mean, did it get nipples? No. I don't think it got nipples. Anyway, son. So, Ivy and Bane, who apparently can drive as Bane.
No, I just thought, Bane's pretty... Well, because you used to tell me Bane's pretty smart. And when I watched this, I'm like, oh, yeah, he is. He can drive.
He can drive. That's how he's so smart, because he can drive, according to you, son.
Yeah.
I don't know why Bane's even listening to Ivy, but whatever. So...
It's the first time I've seen Bane. I'm like, I think he's just with Poison Ivy.
He's just with her. They go to Bruce Wayne's observatory because he's making an opening for this observatory. I guess it's new, and when you see this freaking thing, I'll put it in the video, but it's like a magnifying glass being held by two giant guys, and that's the observatory. But whatever. It's the architecting in this movie. I don't know how to say it. Is it architecture? I guess that's the right word.
Yeah, I think so.
It's all over this freaking movie. I'm like, that's impossible. How would you get up there?
It doesn't matter, okay? What really matters is that this is Batman and Robin. Anything's possible.
I guess. So she wants to meet Bruce Wayne to tell him to stop polluting the world because it's just him, right?
Yeah, she's like, it's you, man.
Look.
Yo, man.
At the time in the 90s, global warming was thought of as a joke. Look, you grew up in a time, son, where it wasn't a joke. Okay?
Talk about today, for example. The weather was off.
Well, I mean, it is October. This is exactly the weather we should be having. But at the time, during the 1997 time, people were talking about global warming. Like, I remember there was like a hole in the ozone. We don't even talk about that anymore.
Well, it's a problem up there.
Yeah, but it wasn't an issue back then in the 90s. Nobody gave two shits.
It's like, so what? There's a hole there. No one cares, bro.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, I'm still here.
So when Bruce Wayne tells Pamela people come first on the planet, it made sense at the time.
Yeah.
We didn't have 7 billion people or 7.5 billion people on the planet, okay? I think we had like 3. I don't know. Don't quote me. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Don't.
Can I quote that?
You can try. I'm an idiot. Quote, Gentleman Jug. In an attempt to draw Freeze out to capture him, Batman decides he's going to host an auction for Mr. Freeze with the Wayne Diamonds to lure Freeze out to come and get them. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Wayne Diamonds with Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So
nothing suspicious.
it's a charity. The idea is that the money is going to go to whatever Bruce Wayne has as a charity, and the girls come out and they're named after plants. Because fine, whatever. We don't know that poison ivy exists, but
I guess they don't know.
They don't know. But anyways, poison ivy comes out and shows up. She's not supposed to be there.
There's like some bear outfit or something. And
yeah,
I remember watching this and I'm like, so is this how she makes her entrance every time? She uses the bear outfit?
No, just here. But I don't understand because she's not supposed to be here. She wasn't at any of the rehearsals. They have rehearsed music and a choreography dance, and I'm like, what is all this?
I have to say though, this movie kind of makes me just cringe.
She has fairy dust that makes Batman and Robin obsess over her.
I started laughing. I was like, I don't remember this. It's like, when was this? There's fairy dust now? And like, he was on Commissioner Gordon. She's like, no, not you.
Not you. Get out of here. Okay. Batman and Robin argue over who gets to date her. And
then we get the best scene in Batman movies.
Batman has the Bat credit card, which I'm like, it's got to be tied to Bruce Wayne.
He's like, never leave the cave without it.
It's the stupidest line ever. And when I saw this in the theaters, I remember nobody laughed. Like, not a single person laughed at the joke. And I was too young to know what credit cards were, so I had no clue what that was.
Usually when something's so bad, I laugh, but this is so bad, I can't even laugh.
I don't think my brain could process what was on screen at the time, and even here. When I saw it here, I was like, this is even more not funny. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Somebody save me from this scene. Well, Mr. Freeze does. He shows up, and he just starts getting diamonds and beating up bad guys because Arnold Schwarzenegger has to beat up bad guys.
And saying puns. He's like, cool party, chill.
Iceman cometh again, I guess. Whatever. So
he's like, cool off.
I know, chill.
Chill.
So
and then I guess Poison Ivy tries her fairy dust on him, and he's like, you got the warm touch.
You got the what?
The warm touch.
The warm touch.
Yeah, he said something like that.
No, he said it doesn't work on the cold-hearted. Where the hell are you coming? You just made up a line. So, there's a car chase that happens. Mr. Freeze is driving his car with his two goons, and Robin chases him, and it looks cool because of where they're going.
I mean, it looks like Gru's vehicle from Despicable Me.
That's exactly what it looks like, just, silver and white.
Yeah.
But whatever. Batman doesn't trust Robin because of reasons, and so he won't let Robin also make the jump. And
so he stops him.
He stops him, and Robin screams like a little bitch, and then Batman jumps, and he actually catches Freeze. And I'm like, okay, fine, cool. Movie's over.
No.
Forgot
about Bane.
Yeah. So we go to Arkham, and Freeze is so cool. Look. I wrote it in my notes. I'm sorry. All right. He gets his own wing of Arkham, and it has a cold beam that only it's like maybe like a good 8 feet wide, I guess.
And like you can't survive outside of it. So what does our scientist do?
He immediately runs out of the cold beam.
And then he's like,
like, you didn't know this was gonna happen?
He's like,
you've never felt this before.
He's like, what's happening to me? I don't get it. I'm burning up.
How did you survive this long, dude? One of the things that always bothered me about the character Mr. Freeze is that he can't survive in temperatures that are above freezing. Okay? Yeah. But he had to be able to build his costume, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, a bunch of stuff.
Like, was he building it in a freezer? I would have to assume.
They said, like, he was, like, whatever room he got trapped in had the chemicals and stuff. He was just in that room stuck, and he just got lucky enough to have all the materials he needed right there
to build a suit and just have it,
and even build an ice gun.
Yeah, like, all that shit
all in one room, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. So Ivy decides that she wants Freeze to be her partner, and this was part of the trend at the time. You would have a villain and they have to work with another villain. It was just part of the trend.
Yeah,
I hated it. It was stupid, but that's just what they did at the time.
Yeah.
You know, so this is why we have to have 5 freaking stars in a movie. Stars! Like, they're the main ones.
It's funny is that the way that Bane comes in with Freeze's stuff.
Well, that's much later. But right now, Barbara, she steals another bike. And Robin follows. And then they go to some place where we get to meet Coolio. Rest in peace, Coolio. And he just died. I don't know what to tell you. I gotta say something. He was here in this movie. And he fires a flare to start the race and whatever, you know. Hijinks happen and somehow Barbara ends up losing one of Bruce Wayne's motorcycles over a freaking cliff or some shit.
And the best thing is they like the joke how Robin had to wear a red hood.
Yeah, a red hood mask, basically. I mean, it was like, it's supposed to be Robin mask, but it's clearly Red Hood.
So in this movie, Robin has to wear a Nightwing costume with a cape and then wear a red hood while on a motorcycle.
I don't think the Red Hood even existed at this time, though.
Oh, he didn't?
No, this is 97.
What about the Joker's version of the Red Hood?
He would have had to, because Alan Moore would have already written The Killing Joke a long time ago. But the Red Hood as a character did not exist with Jason Todd. It's just one of those crazy coincidences where a Robin was wearing a Red Hood motorcycle helmet. That's just how it was. Maybe they got their inspiration on how to make his costume from this movie.
I hope not.
I mean, because it looks like it.
Yeah.
So Freeze is busy crafting an ice sculpture in Arkham.
Yeah.
With just stuff. There's some ice in the cold area, so he just breaks some ice off and gets a piece of like some other thing and breaks a freaking old timey alarm clock. And I'm like, really, dude?
And he just makes it
makes the most perfect ice sculpture.
And the officer, like the guards, just stand there and watch him do it.
They watched him the whole time just do this.
Like, oh, and they're like, they didn't even react. They're like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, it's cool. So, anyways, while he's doing this, Poison Ivy decides to break him out after Bane pulls a guy through a brick wall. Sure, okay. I mean, yeah, maybe there's a window behind it, but it's still a brick wall that he went through, mostly.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they break him out, and Freeze ends up going back to his hideout where Batman and Robin and the police are.
Yeah, and Bane decides to get a grocery cart. That's what it looked like to me. And he just running through everyone like,
well, they gotta let Bane, do something, right? He can't just not be there.
I guess, but it's just so funny to watch that Bane, and you go to the Dark Knight Rises and see that Bane. You're like, huh.
These are 2 different Banes.
And this is the first one I saw.
Ivy once again uses her dust to confuse the dynamic duo, and for whatever reason, they know what the problem is, but yet they are still enamored by Poison Ivy, that they are upset with each other still. And even though Bane somehow, I'm not gonna say Bane, Batman somehow flips over Bane, somehow has super strength.
He's like, all right, Super Cena.
That's pretty much what it is. He gave him an AA off the freaking top rope.
He did. Super Cena.
And then they decide to sit there and freaking, Batman and Robin decide to fight. They're mad at each other. So what does Batman do? He throws Robin into a vat of chemicals. Like, did you think he wasn't going to turn to the Joker, you son of a bitch? He didn't turn to the Joker. I think I have to get that out.
It's just funny that for Bane, he throws him, but he just kind of just throws him on the ground. But his Robin is his sidekick. He's like, all right, you're going in the chemicals that are dangerous.
Yeah.
You're like, hope you don't die.
I mean, we don't know what's in there.
He didn't know it was in there. He just threw him in there.
He just threw him in. At the same time as this is going on, Poison Ivy is walking past Nora's body, and she just unplugs her. And then she tells Freeze immediately, and he just believes her.
It's like, man, Mr. Freeze, he's really showing how smart he is.
Yeah, and he avows revenge and says, we're going to work together to freeze Gotham, and then we'll repopulate it with plants. Yeah, sure. Okay, fine.
Because, plants work off of ice.
Adam and evil. I'm sorry I had to subject y'all to that. That's what they said in this movie. Okay. So anyway,
yeah, or it's a jungle in here.
No. Alfred is dying of a disease called McGregor syndrome, stage 1, but Nora is somehow dying of stage 4, which makes me wonder, how does she live that long when Alfred's dying of stage 1? How did she make it to stage 4? But whatever.
Alfred's at stage 1. He looks like he's at stage 7.
If there is a stage 7. But Ivy ends up tricking Batman Gordon into telling her where the bat symbol is, and so she goes to get it because she knows Robin wants a Robin symbol in the sky, which in all honesty should just be a giant R, but
he's like, I'll put a bird.
I'll put the Nightwing symbol up there.
I guess whoever wrote this movie really wished they had Nightwing.
That's what they wanted. They wanted Nightwing in this movie, So, anyways, we're getting to the third act here.
Oh, now we are.
Yeah, now we are. So Robin's going to go meet Ivy, and somehow, because of them fighting back and forth, they're going to figure out exactly what Ivy is doing. All Robin wants to do is be a partner, and instead of being commanded. So, which for me, I'm like, when Robin says, I want a Robin signal in the sky, I'm like, who the fuck is going to fund that? You, dick? Okay? Who's going to fund that? Is it going to be Batman who's going to do it? Like, how are you going to pay? Like, you sat there and raised the auction price of Poison Ivy against Bruce Wayne. Okay?
And you failed.
Okay? You sat there. No, he raised the price for no reason.
Yeah.
You're at $1 million, $2 million. You ain't got that money. $3 million. I'll get it from you. $4 million. I'm like, dude, you're spending his money and making him raise the price. Like, look, asshole, you live under my house, under my roof. I'm only spending $1 million on this bitch because you ain't got that kind of money. You can move out my house today and you won't have anything. Quit being an asshole. You're gonna sit there and freaking have a Robin symbol in the sky. Who's gonna pay for that? Okay? Quit being a dickhole. Robin is going to go to Ivy's lair, wherever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And Freeze and Bane decide to go to the Gotham Observatory because they're going to use that telescope to freeze Gotham, I guess. And while this is going on, Bane sets up some bombs, and then Barbara figures out that Batman is Bruce Wayne and Robin is Dick Grayson, and somehow manages to get into the Bat Cave.
Because Alfred left her a CD.
Well, he left her a CD, which is fine, because he was trying to get another Pennyworth to take care of Batman and Robin because he knew he was dying. Okay, I get that. But then she hacks in, which, they never said that she couldn't do that, so she did it. But then how did she get into the Bat Cave? How did she even know it was there? Did the CD have that information? It probably did. Right, hey, go through this random door, type in these buttons, and you're just in the Batcave. But they didn't show none of that. She's just in there.
Yeah. And then Alfred's like, oh, yeah, I made this suit, by the way, too, because I knew you were coming.
Yeah, I knew you were going to break in here sooner or later, so I made you a suit, and it doesn't have nipples on it because I didn't think that's what you wanted. So, hey, put this on and then go on and fight Poison Ivy because you know where she is, right?
Yeah. Just follow the symbol in the sky that I don't even know about either.
Yeah, follow that random Robin signal in the sky. Cool. Anyways, Robin meets Ivy and he kisses her. But wait, he's got rubber lips. And
I'm immune to your charms.
Yeah, so there's no poison here. He's beaten her because she told him the whole entire plan. Because villains are stupid. So since Batman can't beat Poison Ivy, and Robin can't beat Poison Ivy, guess who comes in? Batgirl. She can beat Poison Ivy. And she kicks Poison Ivy's ass into a giant plant, which Poison Ivy should be able to control, but she can't.
She's like, oh no, I can't control it. Ah!
And then they just leave.
They're like, she's no threat.
Yeah, she's no threat anymore. Her plant got her, so we can just leave, all three of us. We gotta hurry up and get to the freaking Gotham Observatory because Freeze is gonna freaking freeze the whole place. But you know what we're gonna do first?
Change some suits.
We gotta change our suits, man. We gotta go home and we gotta get some more toys
and get our new cars too.
Yeah, we gotta do that first.
Gotta get the Bat Buggy. That's gonna be in the Lego set.
And the Bat swamp fan thing. That's gonna be in there too.
It's gonna be in the Lego set.
Yeah, we got to get all this stuff, and So they get it, and it just looks outrageously goofy because this is literally new toys. These toys were probably being sold. I have to find pictures for them, I guess.
I like how when they drive to go to the observatory, like for a while, when they're just three of them driving, like the streets are so empty.
Well, yeah, like there's not even like there should be frozen cars here, right?
Yeah,
There's nothing. It's just
it's like where's the frozen people? You don't see them. They're like people should be frozen.
ridiculous. So they get to fight Freeze and Bane at different intervals, and it's all goofy. I mean,
When I saw them fight Bane, I was like, oh man, he's a real threat. He's the guy who broke Batman's back. I saw him get beat. I'm like, Batman should have just pulled his tubes, man.
that's what Robin and Batgirl did. They pulled his tubes, and then Batman fights Freeze, and of course, Batman and Freeze got to hurt each other, because on previous movies, Batman just doesn't get touched. He does the touching.
Yeah.
he. But Arnold Schwarzenegger's here, so he's got to get some shots on Batman, and then eventually, Batman freaking puts a heating pod underneath Freeze's armor somewhere.
It's like, that's a good thing that didn't kill him.
Yeah, right, because it should have killed him, but it didn't. It just stopped him. He just didn't want to sit up anymore.
And like when they turn on the ray to melt everything, I just like how Freeze is getting just cooked. He's like, and then they're just
No!
like, yeah.
That's pretty much what it was. No! Oh! Oh!
And then they just go up to him and like but he's fine though. He's just still there. He's like, yeah, I'm still good, man. And
Yeah,
like
I'm good.
his eyes are like all white now. He looks like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, just terrible looking time. So after the whole thing is over and Batman lets, Batgirl do his job for him by saving the city of Gotham, and he goes to Mr. Freeze and says, hey, can you help me save somebody's life who also has McGregor's syndrome stage 1? He's like, yeah, I got the cure, like right here, dog. He just pulls it out.
It's in my arm, bro.
Right here, I keep it on me. You just keep the cure on you. Sure, why not? Okay. Like you were hitting me with this arm, dude. So, whatever.
Mr. Freeze just gives it to him too. He's like, I mean, I know we were fighting earlier, man, and it's fine.
He's like, but you killed my wife. And he's like, nah, I didn't kill your wife because that was Poison Ivy. Because, look, I got this video of her from the angle that I was not even near to even get. You know where I was? I was stuck in a freaking tree. So how did I get this angle? I don't know. We're not going to worry about that. But hey, here's the video of her confessing to killing Freeze.
It's because I'm Batman.
Yeah. So they go home and they give Alfred the cure, and he's just fine the next day.
The next day he just gets up.
He's just cool.
He's like, all right, whatever, man.
Yeah. Oh, and Ivy's gonna get beaten up by Freeze, sure, because they're cellmates.
And I like how Freeze has his suit now.
He gets to have his suit back. He's not gonna try to escape again, is he?
I mean, I don't know. Now he's not like it looks like a different suit for like another toy.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And I'm like, but like,
Even though it's the same suit.
yeah, it's just that now he's got the butterfly goggles he had before in the rocket scene.
A Freeze is coming. Whatever. I mean,
He said,
first of all, why is Freeze and Ivy in the same cell? But whatever. We're not gonna talk about that.
and I guess that means that they eventually went back and grabbed Ivy from her plant.
Somebody went and got her from her plant and put her in Arkham, but whatever. I'm done with this movie. I mean, I was done with it while watching it the entire time. I was just like, is this movie going to be over? It's not that long. It really isn't. But so much happens in this movie, and it's just ridiculous. However, I was entertained. Okay? So, for me, let me get your score first, son. What do you got?
Well, I'm giving it. I mean, it is entertaining though. So, and it is the first time that I did see Mr. Freeze, Bane, and Poison Ivy. So I may have to give it a higher score than a 1.
Okay. What are you giving it?
I'm thinking like a 2.
I'm giving it the lowest 2 that I can give it.
It's the lowest 2, but it's there because this is how I knew who Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, and Bane were. And then I thought that this was them for like the longest time. Like, oh, that's how they are. And then I see other stuff. I'm like, that's not right.
Look, Joel Schumacher was trying something, and look, the movie made money. Okay, but this movie also ended up putting a freeze. Look, I'm trying not to do it, okay? I'm trying not to do it. It put a freeze on superhero movies for a good while, and the next movie that came out was Blade. Okay? It was for a little while that there weren't superhero movies anymore. Okay? And then there wasn't another Batman movie until 2006.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
Yeah, you were alive at 2 years old.
Yeah. That's where it began for me.
So it gets a 2 from me.
It takes a lot of effort to kill off Batman for a while.
He's a popular character, son. But look, I need you guys to do something for me. I need to get real close to this microphone. I need you guys to not kidnap somebody, but somehow mind control force them to watch more Gentleman Jug videos. Okay? Look, we're just doing this. Okay? I'm not making money from this. This is just for fun. Right? I'm just doing this to have a lot of fun. That's all it is. I just want to shit on movies all day. That's all I want to do. What about you, son?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what you want. Look, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, click the bells, everything all the other YouTubers tell you to do. I need you to do that. Okay? I need you to force other people to do it too. Use your mind control powers. I know that all 7 billion of you people on the planet have it, so do it. I only got 22 of these motherfuckers on here.
Hey, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, for me, because I didn't have 22 a little while ago, but now I do. So get on there, make people listen to this shit, and you know what? The next time that we come out here, we're going to do another movie, just like we always do.
And I'm pretty sure this is one of the good ones.
It'll be available
when it's ready.